Hello and welcome to Our Waking Dream. I am your host, Coco Swanson. I'm so glad you're here. Each week, I provide about a 20-minute show on Sundays that lets you know what's going on that week astrologically. This said, I try to go over one basic layer, and we have many layers moving at once astrologically, which we also do in life. And so I go over one basic theme. I do that in the first, 10 minutes of the class, of the show. And the second 10 minutes or so of the show, I go over practical tools that help you integrate the basic movements and themes that are going on within the cosmos and within us, so that we can mobilize, we can create more agency, we can create more sovereignty in our own lives and directive flow. So welcome. This said, if you're into this show, please subscribe, like, comment, do all of the things that can help give this wings, because it's a grassroots show. So thanks in advance for doing that. This week, let's talk about Saturn. Today is February 8th. We have till the 13th to prepare for Saturn entering into Aries. This is a moment that astrologers have been talking about for a long time. It's time for the structures that have been in karmic review, and I'll tell you all about what this means in sort of plain English. But the structures in our lives at a personal, a professional, and a planetary level, the structures that are really outdated, that contain our last karmic patterns versus where we're going, those structures have been up for review, especially since September, but really since 2023 when Saturn entered Pisces. Pisces is the sign where we return the forms to formlessness. Things go back to source. It's what I call the cosmic washing machine. It's a time where we can release what we do not want to bring into the future, and we can do so fully. It's where the North Node is right now. And if you've been listening for a while, that's a destiny point where if we embody the metaphor contained in the archetype of Pisces, we'll have more strength for the year and a half that the North Node's in Pisces. Okay, so what does this mean? What does this mean for you? What relationship patterns have been on repeat that feel heavy and feel like you don't know how to get out of them? That's a question. What money stories have been on repeat? I don't have enough. I don't know how to get out of debt, or whatever it is that are money stories that are repeating for you. What work stories are taking place? So where are you stuck in your profession in ways that you can't see a way out? The karmic patterns are identified by naming things that we don't know how to in our brain get out of, because for all intents and purposes, we're stuck at an energetic level. It's patterns that keep repeating, either at a personal, professional, or energetic at a planetary level. So another question's, what emotional roles do you keep repeating? If we bring awareness to patterns, that awareness itself allows for things to start to become more malleable. If we have a pattern that we believe is set in stone, that cannot be changed, because it just is how things are. We actually give things strength by naming the fact that it's concretized, that it's stuck in the pattern. But what if all patterns, all ways of being are changeable? What if the ways that the invisible roles that we play are also changeable? What if some of the collective structures, government structures, the loss of faith in leadership, that's a real sign at the end of Saturn in Pisces. We need new structures, and we need them sorely. We need them really, really big time. So what structures have been up for review? And this really, I'm just right in practice number 1, which is always based on inquiry. And that's between now and, here's the fun part, between now and February 13th, which is right around the corner. Heck, you might be listening to this after February 13th. Between February 13th of 2026 and 2028. I think it's April of 2028. We have Saturn in Aries. It's a whole different placement. I mean, it's moving from the end of the zodiac. So that's anything that's really ready to die, to be complete. Any structure. So when I speak astrology, it really is just speaking the symbols of the planets and the zodiacs and what they mean. So symbology. So Saturn is a planet that represents structure, the structure of human life, the structures that we're in relationship to yourself, in relationship to your beloveds, in relationship to people you don't like. I mean, it's all relational structures. Then your relationship with money, your relationship with community, work. It's all structure. And anything that's felt heavy, confusing, relentless, those are the structures that are ready for a full release at a soul level in order to create new structures that support your soul. So again, we're releasing very physical, what we'd call real, everything's real, so that's a slippery slope, but very concretized now structures. We release at a soul level, and I'll explain a technique on how, in order to allow the structures in our lives to align with our soul. The questions. Practice number 1, a series of inquiry. So the questions to bring to this: what patterns in your life keep repeating that feel relentless and weighted? Relational patterns, your money stories, your career, or the world. What governmental systems and patterns are heavy, outdated, and ready for release? Primarily inquire. That's step number 1. With astrology and all of my work, it brings about contemplation. And when we contemplate, when we ponder, when we sit with something, We're able to see it from a different perspective. And when I can see something from a different perspective, I'm allowed freedom to change. So primarily looking at what feels heavy, what feels relentless, what structures in your life and in the world are no longer in service to how you function, which allows you or does not allow you to be in greater service to the world. Those are the styles of question to bring in to this week as Saturn shifts into Aries. Practice number 2 is releasing the old structures. Yet, I find in order to release something, I need to forgive it. I need to forgive me. I need to forgive whatever the system is. If it's a governmental system, if it's a family system, if it's my relationship with money, I need to forgive money. I need to forgive the government. I need to forgive the leaders in order to let it release back to source. Like, what if we actually have to forgive in order to allow the structures to change, to be in greater service to where our soul, your soul, my soul is meant to go? What if I have to let go of the past in order to free up for the future that I'm meant to live? How do we practice forgiveness? First and foremost is a phrase. It's, I am learning to forgive. I am learning to release the past. And that alone helps orientate me with letting go. Then it's a phrase of the more I forgive and the more I bless, the more I'm available for the new structures in my life to land. It's as simple as that. So I invite you to bring up the infrastructures this week that don't feel good anymore. What's weighing you down? And to practice learning to forgive, learning to let go, and learning to shift a perspective to just this slight shift that says, oh, if I let go of this, I have room for something different. I'm learning to let go. Because as we learn to let go, forgive in a boundaried way, this is not me saying, oh, let all your boundaries go and ring up everybody who's mistreated you. This is very different. I define boundaries as the amount of space I need between me and whomever in order to keep the flow of unconditional love for me and them. So how much space I need in order to keep that loving flow? I might need a lot of space. So you, if I'm practicing forgiveness with you, whoever you are, might not know it. It might be happening in the spiritual realms from my own cozy space. And I invite the same for you. Whatever feels relentless, whatever patterns have kept repeating, and whoever the bad guys are, your boss or your business partner or your old friend or old partner, whoever it is, the more that we release, a spacious release, the more room there is for whatever structures can land next that strengthen your soul's purpose. Aries, embodying Aries is about embodying structures that feed your soul's mission. Practice number 3. How do we start to embody our soul's mission? I suggest a very simple mantra for this. And it is, I am that I am. If you're on Apple Podcast, you can't see that I'm doing another cool power move. I do them a lot because when I exaggeratively embody something, meaning I am that I am, and I embody it as if I'm a 3-year-old. I am, and all I am is me. Simply me in a body with a voice. But what a miracle that is, that I am here, that you are here right now, that you have a body, you have a mind, you have a heart, you have a voice. I am that I am, and I align with structures that serve my purpose on the planet. It's as simply put as that. I align with structures that serve my purpose on the planet. And essentially, when we name something like that, like I align the structures with my purpose, that starts to happen, especially as Saturn's moving into Aries, which it won't do for another, 27 years? Saturn has a 27-year cycle. This is the time to really get into it. What would you imagine and try if you knew you were fully supported? That's the sort of inquiry we want as Saturn moves into Aries. Is what structures, what relationships would you have? Like, what would your life be like? Let's go back to the drawing board. What kind of life would you have if you knew you were totally supported? And how would you be in service to the people in your life and to the entire planet if you knew without a doubt you were supported? That's a question to bring into your heart as you start to scan what patterns are still existing that are ready for release, what needs forgiveness. Start practicing forgiveness, practicing letting go, and then layer it with I am. It's this bossy, non-apologetic reception of your own spirit, your own soul in the infrastructure of your body, of your mind. And then it's, of course, my life supports my soul. It's almost like you say that with an eye roll. Of course. Like, why wouldn't it? And that's where we pause. I'm curious to see what infrastructures land to support my soul on its journey in the next 2 years with Saturn and Aries. And it's a curiosity as we step in, and it moves into Aries on the 13th, and then on the 20th, coming up here, it's Saturn and Neptune conjunct in Aries together, which is a full refresh. So that's what we're moving towards this coming month. Okay, I think that's it for now. Thanks again for being here with me. Please, I'm starting new things. I'm starting a new solutions lab. So I'll mention that at the beginning of the next episode too. So on the newsletter, sign up, because I'll have a Q&A time twice a month where you bring your problems to me. So as opposed to astrologically driven, it'll be problem-based and solution-based, where it's more of a Q&A, little mini coaching. So sign up for the newsletter, because that's how I'll be sending information about that. And in the meantime, happy Saturn moves into Aries week, and I will see you next week. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for being a part of our community here at Our Waking Dream. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Fill my cup and let it overflow. Let it overflow with love.